to do a Taylor Swift deep dive, or maybe a shallow dive, a dive nonetheless. So let's start. When Taylor Swift came up with her first album, she gained popularity. Not very much, but she did get popularity. But when she came up with her second album, Fearless, she was outselling a lot of top celebrities of that time. And she pissed them off, I think, because when she came to the VMAs, now imagine this. She put out an album, Fearless, and she was nominated for big awards in the VMAs. And she came in a carriage dressed like a princess, which was like the vibe of the Fearless era. And she came, and imagine how happy she must have been on that day. And then she won, so even better. But then a man came on the stage, snatched her mic, and embarrassed her in front of everyone, the whole world. And I fail to understand how people don't look at it as a misogynistic attack, a full blown misogynistic attack on a teenager, on a girl. She was not even a woman yet. There was some backlash for sure, but not as much as we'd like. So he didn't face any real consequences, and eventually she forgave him also. Anyway, so this was the first attack on her, which was misogynistic, according to me, in my opinion. I mean, everything here is my opinion, I don't know. So yeah, according to me, it was a misogynistic attack. And then it's basically said that she does not write her own music and she's not good enough, and this whole narrative was built. And so when the third album, Speak Now, came, we can see that it did affect her because of songs like Innocent, about that incident, and then Mine. We can see that it did affect her. But what I love about her is that she did not stop working, putting out good work, and then winning awards for it. So that was amazing. So during Speak Now era, one thing was clear, that she's not gonna stop working just because some people said she's not good enough. That is not going to work. So they did the next best thing. Yeah. I mean, how can we talk about Taylor Swift hate and not talk about, that's like been the consistent thing for years now. Like they started slamming her when she was a girl, a child. And what I hate the most about it is that she was seen with a lot of older men, like men who were 30 years older, 30 years or older. And they were not shamed, but she was shamed, a child. And of course, it took mental toll on her. I mean, how could it not? I was in school by my teachers, and it did affect me a lot. It affected me a lot. But now imagine the same thing happening to you by the media houses, by people on the internet, by basically anyone and everyone. You go somewhere, they show you a presentation of your boyfriends or just the men you have been seen with. I mean, it is very, very hard to deal with. It is humiliating. And she spoke about it. She said, the jokes about my amount of boyfriends, the trivialization of my songwriting as if it were a predatory act of a boy crazy psychopath, the media co-signing of this narrative, I had to make it stop because it was starting to really hurt. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Of course, it hurt. How can it not hurt? And all of this shaming continued. If you see the album Red, the songs like All Too Well and Better Man, Begin Again, I love them. Red is one of my favorite albums ever. But I feel so sad that a 20, 21, 22-year-old girl wrote those songs. I don't think that All Too Well should have come out of a 21-year-old woman. I think that if a 35-year-old woman wrote that, I would understand. But a young woman should not have gone through those experiences, and she should not have come up with those songs. And then they started saying that she writes too much about heartbreak and boys and falling in love. I don't know why that's a problem. That was her niche, I guess. But and she won Grammy for the song Mean, but we'll ignore that for now. Okay, so my thing is that what is the problem if she talks about love and falling in love and falling out of love and men and boys? She was young, she was just 4 albums in at that point, and I don't understand what is the problem. Like, that is what teenagers and young adults think about most of the time. Most of the time. That is what their life revolves around. And even if it does not revolve around just that, that is what her niche is. That is what she's good at. I mean, have you heard her breakup songs? All Too Well? Like I said, All Too Well is the best song ever written. My point is, so what? So what if she writes about boys? She's just good at writing heartbreak and sad songs. Like, why is that a problem? I don't know. But apparently that is also a problem. She can't do that. I don't know, like, does not make sense. Like I said, the hate that she gets does not make sense most of the time. I mean, it makes sense if you think about misogyny, which is hating women. But if you think about it logically,
I feel like, yeah, Taylor Swift writes about boys and heartbreaks and falling in love, and she only talks about all these things, and I'm like, okay.
I hope she writes more heartbreak songs and sad songs and falling in love songs. I hope she does it more. I love it. I don't know what to say. Like, then she came up with 1989. I love 1989 so much, but okay, yeah, not here to talk about that. Something so bad was happening at this time. I cannot even talk about it without getting very, very angry. And I get so riled up. Even today, I get so angry about it that I just lose my train of thought. But whatever, we'll talk about it. So at this time, you know who released a music video which had revenge of Taylor Swift. Yeah, it is still on the internet, and it is so disgusting. Called her a which is a misogynistic slur, and people don't take misogynistic slurs seriously, which is a topic for another video. But yeah, so he did that to her, and then she stood up for herself, and she wrote a post and she uploaded a post where she said that she did not agree to this being called a, and she did not agree to this music video. And in reply, you know whose wife went on the internet and uploaded some edited clips of Taylor Swift basically agreeing for all of this, agreeing for being called a and all the things that he put in that music video. It was so disgusting that I cannot even understand how that man still have followers. Misogyny, I guess. Misogyny sells and it shows. So can you imagine what happened next? Because the video was on the internet, there was proof of her being called, and the video is there, the proof is in front of everyone. So now you might think that everyone supported her and sided with her, and all the news channels, all the people on the internet supported her. No, this did not happen. People said that she's playing the victim again, and white women tears and this and that, and Taylor Swift is over party was trending on Twitter. Yeah, can you imagine that you can have proof of being called a slur, of having your, and people will still not support you? So yeah, that happened. And then she she went off public eye for a year, and she was not seen in public for a very long time. Now tell me, will you call this misogyny or not? Will you call this misogyny or not? Of course, yes, it is misogyny, but people just don't accept it. People think that they can just say anything about Taylor Swift, do anything about Taylor Swift. I saw a video other day of some stand-up comic guy. I don't know how it came in my feed. I guess it was about Taylor Swift, and that is why showed on my feed, but whatever, you, yuck. So that guy said, oh my god, Taylor Swift is a white woman, and like just once this man humiliated her when she was a child, she was a teenager, and then she cries about it all the time, and she still talks about it and plays the victim. Even in 2024 people are saying this shit. So this man, this stand-up comic guy, whoever that is, completely missed out on this part, the video part, the slur part, and he completely ignored it. Why don't you talk about it? And why don't you talk about the AI deepfake images that were spread on the internet? Why don't you talk about that? But no, her haters won't talk about that. Those images were spread on the internet just because she was seen on the screens during football matches, because she started attending football matches. So that was not acceptable. And her getting images were spread on the internet. Now, why don't her haters talk about that? I don't understand. But I guess she's a white woman and she's rich, so I guess everything is fine now. And I saw a lot of people saying that they're happy that this happened to Taylor Swift. And the psych part was that they are glad that now some action will be taken. They don't want this to happen with anyone else now, which is so dehumanizing to her. She is a human being, she is a woman, and this should not have happened with her. This should not have happened with anyone, and not even Taylor Swift. If you want regulations on that AI stuff, fine, demand those regulations. But what the hell do you mean that you are glad that it happened to Taylor Swift? No, it should not happen to anyone. It should not have happened to Taylor Swift. We should demand for our rights without it happening to anyone ever, without it happening to any woman. This was so disgusting to watch. I don't know what to say. She's a human being. Like I said, she's a human being. This should not have happened to her. How hard is it to understand? It is humiliating. It is very, very sad. And after all of this, she got hate for using the word tortured in her album's name. She fought a full essay trial. She was essayed and she had a whole trial. Her video is on the internet where she's also being called a slur. She was humiliated in front of everyone. She was from when she was a teenager. She was a girl and she was from that time in by the whole world. And she was dating 30 plus year old men as a teenager, as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old girl. And but she can't use the word tortured. Why? This just tells me how people just don't care about misogyny, how people just don't care about women at all. If people cared about misogyny, they would not care if Taylor Swift use the word tortured, because it is very clear that she has had a lot of misogynistic attacks, a lot of things that are common for women to experience. She has experienced those things, and so she can use the word tortured. Just because she's rich or she's white does not mean that she did not suffer. She's still a woman and she did suffer. And we know all of these things. I'm pretty sure there are things that we don't know of. How can you sit there and say that, oh my god, she's so rich and she's white and she should not use the word tortured? If you are always in a competition, then I guess no one can ever use the word tortured. I can't use the word tortured because there is some woman who is suffering more than me. She can't use the word tortured because there must be some other woman who's suffering more than her. So then no one can use the word tortured at all, ever. This is just so weird and illogical. And then she got hate for announcing her album when she won an award, and it was said that she's stealing spotlight. What? Like, how can you steal spotlight when you are yourself winning an award? It's giving jealousy. It's giving I hate you for being successful. And also I forgot to add, because I was so angry, I forgot to add the body shaming. Very, very heavily body shamed, and she did suffer from body image issues and food and all those stuff. I obviously don't want to diagnose her with some illness, but she did suffer, and it is also a very common women's experience to go through. I love her because she talks about it and she's very honest about it. And I don't like when people say that she makes white girl music. So, this is another thing which irritates the hell out of me. What do you mean by white girl music? Because she is not singing about the designer purse she could not buy or how blonde she is. She sings about heartbreak, falling in love, falling out of love, getting cheated on, thinking of cheating, and a lot of other stuff. But she's not singing about any exclusive white experience or exclusively like white women, white girl experience. And it irritates me so much, because what do you mean that it is white girl music? Do people who aren't white, do they not fall in love? Do they not get their heart broken? Do they not face, I mean, this is so offensive, to be really honest. And also, I have seen a lot of her fans and followers and listeners also say, white girl music, I like white girl music, so what? And I know they're trying to reclaim it, but it irritates me so much because it sounds a little bit racist. Because Taylor Swift sings about women's experiences and she's very, very honest about them. Most of the women relate to her because she's honest about her experiences, and when women are honest about their experiences, other women relate with them. That is what happens under patriarchy. I don't understand how that is white exclusive thing. And also, there is no white boy music. I have not heard people say that. I don't know. You guys tell me if there is a thing like white boy music, but I personally have never seen that or never heard about that. So it's just white girl music then. Then it's just misogyny. Sorry. If there's no popular white boy music, then it's misogynistic. Taylor Swift has become that person people used to sound more woke in a woke competition. So if you just want to be a little bit woke, basic woke, you have to criticize the conservatives, the people who are very, very overtly misogynistic, people who say women should stay in the kitchen and stuff like that. They are the ones you criticize when you are base level woke. But when you want to feel like you are the most progressive, you're the most woke person ever, then you have to criticize Taylor Swift, because then you are some intellectual. And according to them, Swifties are not that intelligent. Yeah, so that is what they think. When you are too woke, you become conservative. That is what has happened over here. They have become so woke that now they are just misogynistic, because conservative and misogynistic, overtly misogynistic people also say the same thing, all coming to the same conclusions, just different ways. So I think this was a pretty good shallow dive on Taylor Swift hate. If I missed anything, you guys let me know. I'll add it. But I think I've covered pretty much everything. Did I miss out anything? If I missed out anything, let me know. Also, I forgot to mention I am uploading this video on her birthday. So, hi Taylor, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, and I hope your haters well, can I say it, or will they take my video down? I hope your haters. If you like this video, If you like this video, I'm pretty sure you will love the book Taylor that I wrote. It is about all things Taylor Swift, not just her haters, everything. Things that I like, her songs, her life, but we have not spoken about the men and who she's dated and who she's not dated. we have looked at her life as a successful woman in a male dominated industry, and we have celebrated her songs and discussed them. So I think you should check it out. It's a fun little book about Taylor Swift that you will enjoy a lot, I'm sure. So check that out. Until next time, bye.